Summary of the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost. The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost is about the choices we make in life and how they affect our future. In the poem, the speaker stands in a forest at a point where two paths separate. Both paths seem equally inviting, but the speaker chooses the one that seems less traveled, even though both have been walked on equally. The speaker imagines that, in the future, they will look back and feel that choosing the less traveled path made a big difference in their life. The poem has 4 stanzas with 5 lines each, following a regular rhyme pattern, a bab. This gives it a song-like feel. The first and third lines of each stanza are longer than the others, creating a rhythm that feels natural. The poem's rhythm mostly follows iambic tetrameter, meaning each line has 4 pairs of syllables where the first is unstressed and the second is stressed. This steady rhythm contrasts with the speaker's uncertainty and indecision. The rhyme and rhythm create a sense of balance, even though the theme deals with life's uncertainty. The main idea of the poem is about making choices, the paths we choose, and how they shape our lives. Frost shows that the choices we make, whether big or small, have an impact on the direction of our lives, even if we don't realize it at the time. The speaker's choice to take the road less traveled represents choosing a different or less common path, even when we don't know where it will lead. The poem also suggests that we can't go back to past choices because every choice leads to new ones, and life moves forward. Frost uses the forest as a symbol for life and the decisions we have to make. The paths in the forest represent the different options we face, and the poem shows that, while we can't predict the outcomes of our choices, they are still important because they define who we become. The speaker admits that the paths were nearly the same, and the difference might be more about how they remember it than the actual choice. In conclusion, The Road Not Taken talks about the theme of choice and the consequences that follow. The structure, rhythm, and rhyme help create a reflective mood, highlighting the speaker's thoughts about an important decision. The poem reminds us that, while we can't always know how our choices will turn out, they are essential in shaping our future.
Line-by-line explanation of the poem The Road Not Taken by Robert Frost.
Line 1. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood. The speaker begins by describing a scene where 2 roads split in a forest that is filled with yellow leaves, suggesting that the scene takes place in autumn. The yellow wood symbolizes a time of change, which can also be seen as a metaphor for life's transitional moments where decisions must be made. Line 2. And sorry I could not travel both. The speaker expresses regret that they cannot take both paths, indicating the difficult nature of making choices in life. The line reveals the speaker's longing to experience both possibilities, a feeling many people can relate to when faced with important decisions. Line 3. And be one traveler, long I stood. The speaker stands for a long time, contemplating which path to take. This reflects the idea of hesitation and the inner conflict that often accompanies important decisions in life. The speaker's indecision highlights the weight of their choice. Line 4. And looked down one as far as I could. The speaker tries to peer down one of the paths as far as they can see, symbolizing the desire to foresee the consequences of their decision. However, it's impossible to know what lies ahead, which emphasizes the uncertainty in life when choosing a direction. Line 5. To where it bent in the undergrowth. The path disappears into the thick vegetation, suggesting that the future is unknown, and the speaker cannot predict where the path will lead. The undergrowth adds to the mystery of the decision, implying that the outcome is unclear and beyond their immediate view. Line 6. Then took the other, as just as fair. After much contemplation, the speaker chooses the other path, which appears equally attractive. The speaker compares both paths and suggests that they are just as fair, meaning neither is superior to the other at first glance. Line 7. And having perhaps the better claim. The speaker feels that the second path might have a slight advantage, perhaps because it looks less traveled and more inviting. This line reflects the desire to choose something unique or unconventional, which seems appealing at the time. Line 8. Because it was grassy and wanted wear. The second path is described as grassy and not as worn down by travelers, suggesting that it is less popular or less explored. This description could symbolize the allure of making a different or unconventional choice in life, one that seems more fresh and less predictable. Line 9. Though as for that the passing there. Here, the speaker acknowledges that both paths are actually quite similar in terms of how much they have been used, despite the initial impression of one being less traveled. Line 10. Had warned them really about the same. The speaker admits that, despite thinking the second path was less traveled, both paths had been worn down in the same way. This suggests that, in the end, the differences between the two choices may not be as significant as they initially seemed. The realization reflects the complexity of decision-making and the fact that choices may not be as distinct as we perceive them. Line 11. And both that morning equally lay. Both paths are equally undisturbed in the morning light, with no footprints or signs of recent travelers. This line underscores the idea that both options appear similar and equally valid at the time the decision is made. Line 12. In leaves no step had trodden black. The leaves on both paths have not been stepped on, further reinforcing the idea that neither path has been used more than the other. This line suggests that the choice is still open, and both options are fresh and unexplored. Line 13. Oh, I kept the first for another day. The speaker decides to leave the first path for another time, indicating that life's choices often involve deferring decisions or postponing them for later. The speaker imagines they might return to the first path but acknowledges that it is unlikely. Line 14. Yet knowing how way leads on to way. The speaker understands that once a path is chosen, it often leads to another decision, and this chain of events can prevent them from returning to the original path. This realization highlights the interconnected nature of life's choices. One decision leads to another, making it difficult to revisit earlier options. Line 15. I doubted if I should ever come back. The speaker is doubtful that they will ever return to the first path, acknowledging the irreversible nature of many decisions. Once a choice is made, it can set us on a new course that makes it unlikely we will return to our previous options. Line 16. I shall be telling this with a sigh. The speaker imagines themselves in the future, reflecting on this decision with a sense of nostalgia or regret. The sigh suggests that the speaker might not fully know how their choice has affected their life, but they anticipate that they will look back on it with mixed feelings. Line 17. Somewhere ages and ages hence. The speaker envisions a future, long after the decision has been made, where they will recount the story of their choice. The repetition of ages emphasizes the passage of time and the lasting impact of this decision, even if the speaker doesn't fully understand its significance yet. Line 18. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I. The speaker reflects on the two paths that diverged in the forest, once again highlighting the moment of choice. The pause here creates suspense, as it draws attention to the moment that has shaped the speaker's future. Line 19. I took the one less traveled by. The speaker declares that they chose the path less traveled, symbolizing the decision to take the more unconventional or unique route in life. This choice is presented as significant, even though both paths were, in reality, quite similar. Line 20. And that has made all the difference. The poem concludes with the speaker reflecting that this choice, however small it seemed at the time, has had a profound impact on their life. The speaker attributes their unique life journey to this decision, suggesting that even the smallest choices can shape our futures in ways we might not fully realize until much later.
Robert Frost was born on March 26, 1874, in San Francisco, California. He is widely regarded as one of America's greatest poets, known for his realistic depictions of rural life and his mastery of everyday language. Frost's early life was marked by tragedy, as his father passed away when he was just 11, and he faced many personal challenges throughout his life. He attended Harvard University but left without a degree, later working various jobs while pursuing his passion for poetry. Frost gained fame with the publication of his first collection of poems, A Boy's Will, in 1913, and his second, North of Boston, in 1914, which cemented his place in American literary history. He received numerous awards, including 4 Pulitzer Prizes for poetry. His poems often explore themes of nature, isolation, and the human experience. Frost passed away on January 29, 1963, leaving behind a lasting legacy in American literature.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.